See, I can unmute it too. Sure. Good morning, everyone. We are honored to have a young lady with us as a guest today. Will you help me? Is your first name pronounced Tamela? Yes? Is that okay? All right. Well, we're going to get underway, and we're going to have an invocation, which Commissioner Bell will lead, and you're welcome to join us. And then, Tamela, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we would be very grateful to have you do that. So anyone who wishes to join, please stand.
Shall we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, we thank you for granting us with the opportunity to be in your presence once again, conducting business for the county. Lord, we thank you for allowing us to see today, having us to come here in good health and good strength. Lord, we ask your blessings upon all of us, regulate our minds and guide us with our intentions to do good business for your good people. Lord, thank you for all that you have done for us. Touch those who were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Lord, be with us and have our agenda and our intentions align with your will. These and all blessings we ask in your Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. And now we will be led in the pledge by Tamela Holloway.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, folks, if there's no objection, we'll pause the agenda. We'll get to communications in a moment. Caitlin Samsel is going to walk us through a phone call that came in to the 911.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. We are so honored to have Tamela here with us this morning. So we'd like to recognize her for her bravery and the service that she did for her mother when her mother had a medical emergency earlier this month on the 8th, about 8:30 at night. So our 911 operator received the call from Tamela, and she was very calm and was able to provide us with the address, information, phone number, and everything when her mother was unfortunately unable to communicate with us during that emergency. So, and then the medics, when they got on scene as well, were very, very honored with how well that she handled herself in the emergency and helping them to care for her mother. So for that, we were brought to our attention by our 911 dispatcher on her service to her mother, and we would like to then honor her for that by both the medics and for the 911 operators. So we have a number of goodies that have been gathered for you. That's from our 911 department. We have from the Parks Department. We have from the Health Department, from the State Police, and from Medic One. They all wanted to honor you for your great action of bravery and in helping your mom during her medical emergency. So thank you so much for being a fantastic 911 caller. You're welcome. And we also, of course, want to honor Mom because you clearly taught her well and what to do. So this is for you on top too. Thank you so much. And I know our chairman has a plaque for you too.
I do. Janella, would you join me? Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing? This has your name on it. And it's something I'd like to present to you on behalf of the Berrien County Board of Commissioners, really on behalf of the whole county. Because you are a brave young lady. I understand when you called in, you even took the time to spell your name when you called. And that means you were clear-headed, you were sharp, you were looking out for your mom. And I can't imagine a parent being any more proud of their child than your mom is right now. So I'd like to give you this. This will be for you to take home. That man over there wants to take our photo, so if you want to step over here and look at him.
Right here.
Right here.
There we go. We're gonna look right at that phone.
Okay.
You look at me. All right, one more. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, young lady.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome to stay, but understand it's a nice day. If you want to get out and enjoy the sunshine, we understand that as well. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Wait just a second.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye. We will return to the agenda. Madam Clerk, any communications? Oh, I thought we did that. We didn't? Well, that was earlier. Okay, well, what the heck? We'll do another roll call. How's that?
Okay, Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling. Present. Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman, Majeri,
Here.
Meeks,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Borath,
Here.
Werfel. Here. Yarborough, Elliott.
Yeah, no.
Can't abstain on that one.
Stay on that one.
And I'm here too.
Yep, I called your name.
Minutes from Chickaming last week. Any changes to those? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes? Moved by Scott. Is there support? Supported by Werfel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Now, Madam Clerk, we have some communications.
Yes, several. Emails received on August 19th from Gabriella Meredith Sawyer stated that she is in support of the planned linear park. Jackie Harowitz from Water Elite stated that she urges the BOC to deny support to the Berrien County Health Department and deny any mandates they propose. Alan Alice from Bridgman stated support of freedom of choice is the only safe and reasonable answer to wearing masks in school. Jamie Hall, St. Joseph, stated opposition to mandating masks be worn in schools. Jerry and Maggie Olson, Harbert, stated support and approval of the Red Arrow Highway reconstruction project currently underway. Emails received on August 20th. Lisa Checkley Needham of Niles stated support of wearing masks in schools. Erica Walsh, St. Joseph, stated support of mandating masks be worn in schools. Leah Schoten Tinger of St. Joseph stated support of mandating masks be worn in the St. Joseph schools. Email received on 8/21 from Melissa Lapicus of St. Joseph stated support of wearing masks in school. Emails received on 8/23, Jeanette Van Nice, Lakeside, supported the planned linear park. Petra Martinez of Benton Harbor stated support of mandating masks be worn in Berrien County. Casey Smith of Royalton Township stated support of mandating masks be worn in the schools. Susan Vanderveen of St. Joseph stated support of mandating masks be worn in schools. Emails received on 8/24, Lily DiMaggio of Lincoln Charter Township stated support of mandating masks be worn at Lakeshore schools. Deanna Chorney, Stevensville, stated support of mandating masks be worn in schools by unvaccinated students. Jeremy Prong, Benton Harbor, stated opposition to mandating masks be worn in schools. Rose Strother, New Buffalo, stated opposition to mandating masks be worn in schools. That's all.
Thank you. Since we've already done the presentation to Tamela Holloway, we'll move to public comments regarding resolutions.
You're in Sheriff Pikesville Township.
Yes, sir.
You got one here called, number 03.
The Title 4D resolution,
What's that?
Title 4D funding.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that because you're combining the health department with a, court system, and it's for $8,564,000. That's a lot of money. But if you're combining something, what are you dropping? Is there something other than this is being offset at $8 million? Or is this an $8 million addition that's already being appropriated? I think there needs to be some clarification on some of these resolutions so we can understand a little bit better as to what's really happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments pertaining to resolutions? Yeah, we'll amend the agenda. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as submitted?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Curran, supported by Volrath. Discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Meeks,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Volrath,
Affirmative.
Wolfall,
Yes.
Yarborough, Elliott.
Yes. Thank you. Consent calendar is approved as submitted. We have a resolution from the group that we consider the COVID committee, which is the committee chairs, Commissioner Volrath and myself. And this would be in the nature of an added resolution, which we could either do now or we could do under other business. Any thoughts one way or the other? Okay. If it's added, it has to be read into the record. Anyone who wants to read it, feel free to volunteer. Dave, you want to read it? Okay. All right. Do we have any copies for the folks who are here?
I handed them out.
Okay. All right. As we would with anything else, we would first need to move it and support it, and then we can talk about it. Is there a motion to approve C21083007?
So moved.
Moved by Yarborough, supported by Volrath. Discussion. Any discussion? As you know, we had presentation this morning, an update on COVID with particular focus on this Delta variant, and also with an ongoing conversation about school starting. So there's certainly some timeliness to this resolution. If there is no further discussion, Dave, you want to go ahead and read it, then we can do a roll call vote. Or actually, we could do a vote by acclamation if you wish, if we waive roll call, which we have the authority to do. So we'll deal with that after Dave reads it.
All right, we've got resolution C21083007. The Honorable Board of Commissioners of Berrien County, Michigan, your COVID-19 committee respectfully recommends adopting the following. The resolution, whereas it is the mission of Berrien County to provide leadership, cooperation with all units of government, sound fiscal management and planning, thereby promoting public safety, health, well-being, and prosperity in order to improve the quality of life for present and future generations. And whereas the goal of Berrien County Health Department is to prevent disease, protect health, and promote an optimal quality of life for all residents. And whereas the Michigan Public Health Code charges local public health departments and officials with certain duties, including prevention and control of infectious and communicable diseases such as COVID-19. And whereas Berrien County public health officials and staff have worked tirelessly over the past 18 months to protect community health through the interpretation and sharing of health data, promoting accurate health information and coordination of response needs in service to Berrien County residents. And whereas local, regional, and statewide data surveillance show that COVID-19 continues to pose a health risk to residents through continued evolution of the virus and the impact of new variant strains and unvaccinated populations. And whereas the Berrien County Health Department urges all residents 12 and over to be vaccinated, to stay home when sick, and to practice good hand hygiene and cough and sneeze etiquette, and to wear face masks when appropriate. Now therefore be it resolved, hereby resolved, that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners supports the Berrien County Health Department and our local public health officials in their continued response to the COVID-19 pandemic and in protecting the health and well-being of the residents of Berrien County.
Very good, thank you. Moved and supported. If the group is inclined, we will waive roll call and do a voice vote. And I'm asking for unanimous consent to approve this resolution. All those so inclined signify now by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is approved. Where are we now? Back to the page. Committee reports. Start with admin. Jim.
Thank you, Mac. This morning we had Caitlin Samsel, our 911 director, and her assistant, Jennifer Flick, and Commissioner Werfel would like to report out on the 911 update.
Sorry, I was like, where are my notes? Yes, we were introduced to Jennifer Fleck, her assistant director, which was very nice to meet her. We talked about the jail tower is going to be inspected and maintenance done to it over the next few months. So they're going to be doing some console cleaning in the 911 center. So that hasn't been done since '08. So we're going to get those all up and running and working really well. The CAD system over at 911 is going to go, the new platform is going to go live in February. This week they did the testing on the new 800 megahertz water relief tower. And that went really well. We've been hearing about that tower for a while now. So that is all up and running and has been tested. So hopefully everybody in Coloma, Watervliet, and that vicinity, they're going to have great coverage now. So the next thing to work on, of course, is the South County Tower and that coverage, and that is being worked on. So we're going to see, I think, more on that in budgets. Staffing is still, along that same lines. They still have that needing people. They've got some vacancies. They've got a retirement coming up, and they have 4 in training right now. So they're doing a number of things with that as well. So that's my report.
Thank you, Julie. We had 2 resolutions that we discussed. Both of them were approved this morning. The school resource officer down at Brandywine and the COVID resolution. And then we heard from our county administrator and our chair, and that's our report.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for admin? Okay, then we'll move to personnel. Bob.
So we also met. My assistant was asleep at the switch here, so. We also met this morning. We heard from Laura Freeling, the Register of Deeds. She went over great detail over the activity for the last year as well as compared to the prior years. So significant increase in activity as a result of some of the sale of properties here in Berrien County. We had 1 member of the public attend, and we talked a bit about COVID and some of the rules regarding public health orders and the like. We also approved our minutes and then interviewed our chair and administrator and talked about search for the corporate counsel and other staffing issues here at the county. So that concluded our meeting.
Thank you. Questions for PHS? All right, then we'll move to commissioner reports. Michael?
Oh, I have a
Oh,
report.
finance, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I know where I am today. I think I got hit in the head too many times this morning.
You're wearing the tie. It's choking the blood off.
That could be, that could be. And I'm preoccupied.
Yeah,
Mimi, I'm sorry.
I'm fine. And it's important that we read this because this is about a lot of money. So I want you to know. Kevin Stack came to us and he wanted to know there is a request for proposal that's going out for engineering services. And it's still with the paths and the, the communities of Union Pier, New Buffalo and all to continue that and to make it work. And so he hasn't sent the request for proposals out, but he wanted to make us aware and that there is money between federal, the communities, the townships of New Buffalo, Union Pier, all up and down the thing. We did that ride, and I think that was extremely valuable to see so many things we do, and we don't know what we're talking about, but we got a chance to see and understand. And then financial analyst Jake Lideker and Doug James came to us, and I want to do yours a little bit later. Let me hold on to that. I want to let you know that the sheriff department came to us under Sheriff Height about ordering cars for 2022. So many things we do, you hear about there's back orders or things are behind. And so the best thing for us to do is to order these GMC from a Chevrolet dealer in Grand Rapids. And it's a Michigan company. And so there was quite a breakdown. There will be 4 Chevrolet Tahoe police vehicles for $208,000, 2 Detective Bureau vehicles for $52,000, 1 Chevrolet Suburban prisoner transport vehicle for $58,000, 1 Chevrolet full-size prisoner transport van for $40,000. And these prices are running what they were in 2021. And so they want to do that. So when these cars become available, they can be sent to us because it'll be less probably than usual, and they're given to dealers and all of that. So we have the dollars for it, and they'll be done. And Todd from our auto was in with Chuck, because that's how they're fixed and made ready, and all the markings and lights and all that is done. And so they agree. And one of the questions that I ask, and I wonder when I read it, is do we do trade-in? And these cars are used when we turn them in or whatever. Plus they have holes in them where something was stuck and in the roof and, a lot of modifications. But somehow Todd, what's his last name? Rainey. He sells these. He puts them on auctions, and some vehicle this year we got $14,000 for it. So we're doing the best that we can with what we have and making room. And then we use some of these vehicles for the county. We still, if it's something that of a size they need or can be used and passed on, that's what we do. But they have hundreds, no, I'm exaggerating, hundreds of miles on them. And so we have used them well, and I wanted to let you know about that. Then what I want to ask is if Commissioner Freeling will tell us about the facilities master plan. We opened bids today, and I wanted her to tell us what it is and why, and then what the bids were.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I could also just state with regards to those vehicles, one of the things that was clarified to us is though they're asking for those vehicles, they will not be paid for until there's receipt for the county. It's really just putting the dealership on notice so that we can have ourselves in the queue ready to receive those vehicles because of the delay. We're just now receiving vehicles that we had ordered last year right now. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
We did have a bid opening. We went out for proposal, seeking qualified consultants that may be interested in providing long-term planning services to address the existing and future county government physical facility needs. And so today we opened those bids, we received 5 responses, and they range from $70,000 to $395,000. So the $70,000 bid was Tower Pinkster. Whiteman was $96,190. Abbenmarsh was $137,335,000. And then we had Straub, Petite, Yates out of Clawson, Michigan. That was $326,000 and some change. And then we had DLZ of St. Joseph, Michigan at $395,000. What we have done as a committee is we've reviewed those and turned them back over to the appropriate department to kind of vet. And what we've asked is that the discussion continue, that they come back to committee, because this is the beginning of that conversation. And really what this is, and I think the administrator probably could touch on this more, it's to kind of help us with strategic planning, the work that's already ongoing, but looking at our facilities and also those American Rescue Plan dollars and how those can be best leveraged and utilized. Madam Chair, is that satisfactory?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
No, that was an excellent summary. Right now you get decentralized capital plans. And the intent here is to try and put together one roadmap addressing all of your capital needs across all your departments, all your properties, all your buildings. And then put together a master list of here's how much, if we were to fix everything, how much it would cost. Here would then have a prioritized list that will help guide some of your spending decisions. And then as part of that prioritized list of where the money should be placed, it will then also tie back to, are these expenses eligible for rescue funding? So the process is it will be time consuming, but the intent is to take a physical tour, a hard look at each and every building, each and every department, and then work with elected officials as well as appointed staff on trying to create that roadmap. This ties directly to what Jim Hettinger is working on.
Yeah.
And my hope is that as you start going through the review of what ARPA can pay for, that you have a very clear understanding of what it would cost to get your house in order.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Another thing I wanted to talk about is with Kevin Stack with the road department. He talked about radios. You've seen we've been buying a lot of 800 megahertz.
Great.
Hertz radios. And in the road department, there are places where they have no contact. They have older radios. They don't work in the car or in the trucks or whatever, although they get better reception than some because the trucks are big, higher up, and that's closer to the towers and things. But their goal is to get about, what did I write, 96 megahertz radios, and they want to have about 4 handheld radios in each garage so that you can just take one and use it or whatever, but others will be attached in the car. And this is going to run about $350,000, and they have the money budgeted for it. And our radios, our megahertz radios are Motorola, our towers are Motorola. And so what will the road department do? Well, Motorola is in the My Deal program, and so they're not going to have to go out and try to get bids from other places or other radios. Why would you buy a brand that doesn't, coordinate? They haven't ordered them yet, but they wanted to let us know this is what they're going to do and what is needed. And we know that everybody needs to be able to hear. And they said they won't be on the wave that lets them hear all the police calls. When something comes up and the road department needs to be there, then 911 will be able to patch them in, and that they'll all be able to talk to each other and know what's going on. So just a lot of good things going on with us. And I had vehicles written down here. Did they talk about they're gonna need vehicles also, road department?
Oh, no, he was just saying that they're not going to be using My Deal coming up for vehicles. They're going to be going local.
Yes.
They want a local bid these now.
Okay, thank you. And then with Administrator Dissett, we talked about the auditor for the senior centers, that her 5-year agreement is almost up. And so they're in negotiations and our finance department, Doug James and all of them, they're so pleased that there is a standard and that the people respect Linda Eli, her company, and the different senior centers are, working together instead of 7 different directions. And so that's something that they all want to continue, and he'll be working on that. That's all.
Thank you. I apologize for overlooking that. Now, Michael, anything?
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Terry?
Just want to give a brief update. Southwest Michigan Planning Commission met on Tuesday, and one of the things that was approved is the Southwest Michigan Planning Commission's Regional Transportation Work Plan. It's relevant because it highlights rural transportation agencies and that work plan. I'll make certain that I get a copy out to the boards, but it's also available on the Regional Planning Commission's website. Outside of that, we had a presentation on an ongoing effort to do food branding for fruit and vegetable produce within Berrien County and the region, and kind of highlighting the uniqueness of what we have here within Berrien County, Cass County, and Van Buren. And then the last thing that we did, we had some discussion with regards to some of the Senate bills and House bills that are being presented as it relates to Public Act 188, which is known as the Public Improvement Acts. This is the mechanism that allows for municipalities to do special assessment districts for improvements like sewage, water, and the likes. And so there was discussion with regards to that because currently broadband internet infrastructure is not included as a utility that can be included for special assessments. And there is Senate Bill 114 and House Bill 5037 that's currently working through and just having a robust discussion with regards to that at the Planning Commission.
Just a quick follow-up on that. The federal government is pushing dollars out in the form of rescue funds. One of the listed priorities for the use of those rescue funds is the construction of broadband networks. The problem in Michigan is the cost to build broadband networks is relatively high. If a township, a county were to invest some of the rescue funds and then use general funds to build the broadband networks, you have no way to then use a special assessment district to recover any of your unfunded amounts. There are blocks currently within the Michigan legislature that just doesn't allow you to use special assessments as a way to recover any overage. So as Commissioner Fraley just noted, this is something that needs to get fixed because every township, every county is talking about broadband. It is something that affects Berrien, but it's something that affects all of the state of Michigan. So earlier this week, I was reaching out to the Michigan Association of Counties as well as trying to get this onto the Michigan Municipal Leagues, onto their desks for greater consideration. We've, as staff, have sent communication to Representative Wenzel, Representative Paquette, as well as Senator Lasada, just saying this is a real issue. So we have an opportunity here that's kind of once in a generation where the federal government is pushing dollars to the locals as well as to the counties and saying, get this fixed. And I think there's a genuine desire to get this fixed, but the tool to help with the fix isn't there right now. Sorry for the distraction.
Yes, on Tuesday, I attended a meeting at the EOC regarding the Cook drill. And so that it was a virtual meeting with the state and went through a number of the criteria that the FEMA will use to evaluate the cook drill. So that concludes my report.
No report.
I attended the Southwest Michigan Planning Commission along with Commissioner Freeling, and she reported out on that. That's all I got.
I have less than that.
No report. I have no report, but I do want to recognize Commissioner Bell. He is a new star in the community in the Spectrum Health Lakeland Wellness Campaign.
I attended the Southwest Michigan Planning Commission, but I was late getting there for some reason. Well, I want everybody to know Terry did a good job, and I'm so thankful for Terry and Mamie. They really making my job a lot easier. So, thank you.
No report, but question to the chair. Under other business, can we talk a little bit about the broadband issues that was brought up by our administrator?
I think we could allocate up to 2 minutes for that.
Can I take my 2 minutes now?
Well, let's make sure we've gone around. And
I have
then,
no report.
let's do administrator, general public, and then we can get to that. So, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, just as a thank you, thanks to the board for making the trip down to Chickaming last week. Thanks to everyone that was able to hop on the bus. I promise that bus was not set up to rattle.
When it first rolled off the production line.
Just continuing with the thank you statements. I've already sent a note to the supervisor, but Supervisor Bunty was just an excellent host. Really went above and beyond to make sure that the board meeting went off very successfully. Set up chairs, had AV equipment, really was a fantastic host. To his team down there, big thanks. And then to Annette and Kevin Stack. Kevin was the tour guide for the bus ride, and Annette made sure that everybody showed up on time and did what they were supposed to. And then lastly, to our transit team for making those arrangements. So really good night meeting, very, very heavy attendance. So well done. Those are my comments.
Yeah, I'm grateful they had those big fans.
Yeah. Toasty.
General public comments. Anyone have anything they'd like to say? Name and where you come from? Meaning where you live.
They're about the same, actually, in my case. Jerry Cirque from Benton Charter Township. I just wanted to report a little bit about some of the Masonic things that are going on, since I'm also going to be the master of the St. Joseph Lodge coming up this year. But the Grand Lodge of Michigan has decided that the way that they've been distributing money in grants has not been working exactly the way they wanted it to. And to make it more equitable, they've decided to give each one of our lodges $25,000 beginning in April, last April. And we would distribute that money to nonprofits in our communities. And we're looking now for some places to distribute money. We actually have allocated some of the funds to the Blue Star Mothers in their efforts. But we are also then every April, they're going to reimburse us back up to the $25,000. So we'll have some money to allocate. If you have a nonprofit in the county that's in need of services, I shouldn't say in the county because my lodge does the St. Joseph area. There's other lodges that does Lakeshore. There's a lodge that does Buchanan and Three Oaks and Niles. So we have lodges, but I can put you in contact with any of the lodges in your area. If a nonprofit, and you have to be a 501c3, if a nonprofit is looking for some kind of grant money for a specific project that meets the criteria, because it has to go from us to the Grand Lodge, they have to approve it, and there's a big, you know how that is, bureaucracies run. So that's what, anyway, I wanted you to know that there is money now in the lodges in Michigan, and if one of your agencies needs some help, get in contact with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zerk. You guys have anything you want to add, or Tony or Aaron?
Okay. Just one quick thing for information for you guys. You're looking at broadband. And I&M is, as you know, putting new towers in all over Berrien County. All your old angular towers are gonna be gone. They'll be all new monopole towers. All Berrien County, in fact, the whole I&M district. But they are also running their own fiber on those towers. One of the top lines on the tower is fiber, the other is the bonding line. But every one of the substations in Berrien County is gonna be connected through those towers into the national system in South Bend along the railroad tracks that are put in, and everything will be controlled out of West Virginia. You may find out that there's a lot of availability of service through those lines that you guys could tie into, or a private company could tie into, and go to each substation instead of, going all over the county and putting in new lines all over. It may save you some money.
Thank you.
You're in Jerry Stone Township. I have a question about the road department, and they've done really a great job doing our road. I know more of that, but since it's been done, they mowed one side of the road, but they haven't mowed my side of the road, and the grass is about that high. But since the new road, when they put the road in, I can't mow it with my mower because the angle is too great, and I get stuck in it with my zero turn mower. Okay, so my question, road department, is that my responsibility to mow that, or is that going to be mowed regularly from now on? Because it's getting about this high at present time. And I stopped at the road department and walked there several times, and there's never nobody there. So what do I get in contact with these people? I just kind of figure out what I need to do. If I need to buy a special mower to do this, or if I'm gonna get something done with the road. But they did mow the other side of the road about three weeks ago, but they never came back on my side of the road. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you.
Other business, Commissioner Z.
Just to comment, what Darren said, I had the same issue, Darren. People were calling me in my district about mowing, and I talked to Kevin Stack, and Kevin Stack said that they have a couple of more projects to finish up on chip and seal. And once that is done, then all of the construction crew and everybody's gonna get on the mowers. So that should be coming here within the next week or two.
Well, I think they've added the last chip and seal to this road. I think that was done last week.
Oh, the county.
Well, the whole county.
I just wanted to give you that as an information. The next thing I wanted to talk to about the board is what our administrator and what Terry has been speaking about. Jim and I and Terry, we're all on the BCBIT committee for the broadband. And even though we're not at that point yet, I want us to be very, very aware, because things move quickly with all of these grants that are going to be available. Right now, the county does not have a grant writer. We don't have anybody in the finance department. So we either need to think about that position if we so choose to, or possibly using Southwest Michigan Planning Commission as the grant writer. But when these things are going to come up with broadband and grants, as Jim, we talked about this, it's going to come up quickly and fast, and we need to be ready. And furthermore, the townships and the municipalities that would like to apply for grants, they would then be able to use either our grant writer or the grant writer of Southwest Michigan Planning Commission. So I just wanted to let everybody know here that we need to think about these things, because once this money and this comes available, we need to be ready to act. That's all I had. Thank you.
Anyone else have any other announcements, reminders? Don't come next Thursday because you'll be here by yourself. Facilities are closed for Labor Day. We will gather again 2 weeks from today, 8:35, unless something comes up. And not anticipating that it will, but if it does, we can meet on as little as 18 hours notice. So I know Annette really is crestfallen about our not being here next week. But we hope you will manage. Have a safe Labor Day, blessed Labor Day. Just saw the news, there have been suicide bombings at the Kabul airport. So praying for the safety of our citizens, our armed forces, and all good people. We are adjourned.